Hey guys, here. Today I want to do my all-time Madden team, well, MUT team mostly. If I were going to go into Madden, I mean, there's been very powerful guys and characters in the past in Madden. You see 04 Vic there at quarterback. Devin Hester became the first 100 speed guy. But I think a lot of my most, powerful Madden cards, I used to play franchise a lot. They were all like, fictional players, and they'd only mean something to me. I didn't really play regs online. It just wasn't interesting to me. So I feel like MUT would be a better kind of, because I've been doing that a lot the last 5 years or 6 years or so. So I'm going to do a lot of that. Basically all-time MUT team for that purpose, with the exception of 04 Vic, because I guess you could say every year Vic in MUT is basically the most powerful card. This year you can argue Lamar Jackson is there right with him, but overall those, mobile quarterbacks. So we're just going to use as my quarterback one, Michael Vick, all right? Because and the thing about quarterbacks is, let's just transition on to this thing, is every year there's broken ones, right? Every year, from like Madden 25, Johnny Manziel, and like the QB rap or something that was just basically unstoppable, and running with the quarterbacks was very hard to contain. 15, 16, 17, 18, like every year. These mobile quarterbacks, between Vic, between Cam Newton, I remember his Madden 17 draft card standing out a ton to me because he could just break sacks like they were nothing. This year, with golden ticket quarterbacks, we have Power Out Master and infinite speed, it feels like. Those are very powerful. It's not a passing year, so can you consider those super powerful? I don't know. But anyways, let's move on to the rest of them. All right, let's go on to halfback first. The two halfbacks I chose as my number 1 and 2 are Madden 18, Barry Sanders, and I'll bring up their stats here. Madden 18, Barry Sanders. And if anybody remembers Madden 18, spin moves were overpowered as heck. So with that said, this guy basically changed the game where they just they brought in an entirely new thing, Unfakeable. I think Secure Tackler came in around that same time to basically stop these Barry Sanders cards. He had never stumbled on them, but really it was nothing but spin, and then like you'd be able to juke out or like spin out like 6 players. When you spun, it was just insane. Super overpowered, and he had the speed to go along with it. You could go, I think, Pound the Rock, maybe. I don't think this added speed. Later on, there was other ones that added speed to cards, but I think that they didn't have that this year for Pound the Rock. So, anyways, this card, literally, they had to change the game around it. So Barry Sanders is definitely one of them that I would say is the number 1 running back, in my experience, in Madden Ultimate Team history, or at least my knowledge. And my knowledge doesn't really go back past much. 15, I know a bit about 25, but I really started in 15. Otherwise, before that, I was franchise. So a lot of the earlier cards I'm more unknowledgeable about, so you might have some more disagreements. So I want to hear it in the comments. What's on your all-time Madden Ultimate Team? Eric Dickerson has to be there. Nerf of his NFL 100 freight train. Basically, it breaks the first tackle attempt on a ball carrier and run plays, and it was insane. Before the nerf, before it was like, all right, you have to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage to turn it off, people could run an entire half, an entire game with it on, and you wouldn't be able to take him down in the first tackle, and he was, terribly effective, so much so that the game became worse for it, and they had to get nerfed. So a lot of these cards that you're going to see on my offense really shaped the game, and a lot of them on defense, too. When that video's coming, they basically added a lot of nerfs to the game after some of these cards. Some of them just stayed broken the whole year. But Eric Dickerson, you see there behind Barry Sanders, is my number 2 running back for most powerful ones, because Madden 18 and Madden 20 are definitely running years. And Eric Dickerson was the epitome of the run this year. Him on a stretch, him on a dive, and it was annoying. All right, so let's move on to fullback. Fullback's kind of a weird spot, halfback, fullback. I chose Jimmy Graham from Madden 17. Now, you can make the argument, wait, he's not a fullback. True. If you could argue this year's fullbacks between Okoye, Franco, because I-form is so powerful, and I would agree with those arguments. But I'm going to go Jimmy Graham because he's basically an auto touchdown back in the day with his Jimmy Jump. Jimmy Jump meant, how come I don't have, oh shoot, I don't have him up. But anyways, Jimmy Jump, I was looking for this, Graham. Jimmy Jump basically, man, you were able to get like a goal line touchdown almost automatically by hitting left trigger and X. And it allowed you to, I don't know, shoot, that's 18. Sorry, Jimmy Graham from Madden 17. I believe it was his Team of the Week card. So this Team of the Week card, because he had over 91 jump, you sub him in at fullback, and you just basically left trigger X and you jump to the line of scrimmage. Some people, you're able to score touchdowns from 5 yards up just by jumping over the line of scrimmage with this card. So the Jimmy Jump was infamous that year. So Yeah, every single player I'm going to have is infamous for being broken as hell. At fullback, you can argue, you put other players there that can maybe make more of the I form, like I said, but fullback dive Gronk in Madden 16, that golden ticket Gronk, which I think Problem took to basically the championship game, has an argument for that fullback spot too. All right, let's move on to wide receivers. Muttmaster Odell Beckham Jr. is my choice, and a lot of people that have been with me for a while knows I've reviewed a lot of these cards, and Odell Beckham Jr., when he came out, fastest card in the game, spec catch 102. And you remember Madden 16, where basically Odell Beckham was the cover athlete, and his like over the head catch down the sideline made spectacular catching even more spectacular. They added animation, they added a bunch of animations for spec catches, and a lot of offenses were basically chuck it up and hope to get the spec catch, and frequently it happened. If you were one-on-one, it was not a bad calculation just to throw it up and get it like 45, it felt like percent of the time, 50% of the time. So he was also faster than everybody in the field, and yeah, pretty nice. I mean, there was maybe one or two that were close to him at that time, but like somebody, if we're gonna go like honorable mentions for halfback, Dree Archer in Madden 16 was great for the toss. Brashad Perriman in Madden 16, I gotta give him a shout out. He's not my top 3, as you see, but Brashad Perriman, he launched the game with 97 speed and was really annoying to stop because streaks and beaters and stuff like that with Perriman, and it was insane. Madden 16 was kind of like the last of the budget cards, and like him and that Dree Archer launching with 96 and 97 speed basically heralded the end for amazing low-end cards that can compete with top-end cards. So he had the same speed as Muttmaster Odell, but Odell obviously with a spec catch over 100 at launch made the Y button very powerful. Alright, so we also want to talk about golden ticket Megatron from Madden 15. Madden 15 was a very height-focused year. Madden 15 was so height-focused, they brought in the catching system for the next year with the Y button to basically stop face catching, which was basically a lot of the meta in 15. You could try and anti-face catch, but this card, fast, great acceleration, great everything for a receiver, but then is tall so he can also face catch. So basically, you're like, all right, am I going to get thrown over the top with his raw speed, or is he going to stop on a dime and face catch me? Now, I know there's a little bit of face catch back in Madden 20, where guys are basically squaring up to the ball and doing the same thing where you body him out. We've been talking about that all year. It seems to be catching on more and more. But this Megatron wide receiver, the amount of speed and face catching that you saw when he was on the field, it was just like a one-man wrecking crew. And much of these offensive pieces are one-man wrecking crew. That's why they're on my list of the best Madden Mutt team all time. But this golden ticket Megatron, since we no longer go over 100, it's a rare breed to see many like this. And he was kind of insane. All right, so go back to the offense. Number 3 was Tyreek Hill. Sorry for a little bit of like the names are kind of like scuffed right there, but Tyreek Hill, 93. And obviously, this team isn't just like the best players all year, else they'd all be like golden tickets, endgame cards. They're the best players for their time too, like the glitchiest that led to the most patches needed. So Tyreek Hill, blitz Tyreek Hill. Why was he so good? Speed, raw speed for crossers too. And at this point, remember in Madden 19, it was very much a cross year because there wasn't much pass rush, and the only way guys got open against zones was basically going to the sideline on crossing routes. So clear out crossing route because, that became the meta. So with that, he would be able to be boosted just like last year, with speed, with sprinter, with stuff like that. So Madden 19, Tyreek Hill at the blitz with 95 speed essentially got up to, I think I got him to 99 speed fairly easily. So yeah, I mean, this card was the fastest card you're going to get all year. Nice deep route running. After the catch, juke, all that stuff, but really it was the raw speed that we really cared about, and he dominated for it, and that's why he's on my list for being the Madden 19, or one of my favorite receivers all time, my most broken offense all time. All right, we're gonna go back to a Madden 15 card for a tight end, Levine Toilolo. Levine Toilolo, why? Because he was also a degenerative face catcher, 6'8", 260. And basically, you threw the ball up, you stopped with him, you caught it, and they couldn't do anything about it. The amount of face catching that happened with him was kind of insane. Just for an 89 overall, he ended up getting a card later in the year, but by that time we had a lot better cards, and really, I mean, it is what it is. It was all height based, all physical stature based, and you'd have to go like maybe bring out like a Julius Peppers to help stop that. But I say this Levine Toilolo, for how easy he made face catching, was super degenerative. And it's not like he was a trash blocker either. 78 blocking's not bad if you ever wanted to run the ball. Impact block 72 isn't the greatest either. But regardless of Levine Toilolo, great tight end. But I mean, special shout out to Hines Ward. His wide receiver at tight end was big for a lot of people back when we could do that in Madden 16. So Madden 16, Hines Ward, throw him at tight end with 91 speed. His legend card, he also has 73 run block and 85 impact block there too, with all of his nice catching stats. Later in the year, I went with Golden Ticket Dez as my tight end, and yeah, he wrecked shit too. But yeah, Hines Ward, tight end, glorious too. So, but another big one, another really degenerative one, is people that just ran Golden Ticket Donald Penn. Now, the artwork isn't great here in Mudhead because it's kind of like gone out, but 97 run block plus 85 speed. I know it's a golden ticket, so it's supposed to be crazy. But yeah, basically you throw this at your wide receiver spots because it's an out of position tight end. You throw it at anywhere you want, and he's basically flattening dudes out and paving the way for a crazy run game that was already overpowered as hell in Madden 25. He just made it even worse. So the speed combined with run block of this card offered a lot of pain for offenses. The offensive line, Joe Thomas. All right, now this one's kind of... I put out a tweet on offensive linemen asking about people about like what's the best, most dominant ones, because I really didn't know that many dominant offensive line pieces my entire life in Madden Ultimate Team, because really offensive linemen don't really do much. I got a few responses. I'll go through them all. But this Joe Thomas, you're like, oh, it's whatever stats. And all linemen are just basically, you know, pass block, run block, speed. What do you do for me, right? That's about it. Well, this card, before the nasty streak nerf where they didn't allow it to work out of position, this card was literally offenses for people. So all these cards that I'm putting out here are pre-nerf cards, and nasty streak on this guy, who was the first tackle to get it in the game, you basically put him at tight end, you'd motion him out, he would knock over 2 players and allow the run game in Madden 20 to be even more powerful than it already is. So he basically made the entire run game even more degenerative on stretches because he'd take out like 2 guys on one side of the ball. So one blocker taking out 2 guys, that means quite a bit of advantage for the offense, which already hooks your end. And they had to nerf it where it doesn't work out of position. There are some finesse ways around it right now, but yeah, it's insane. 3 million on PC. Wow. Yeah, pre-nerf nasty streak on this card was a nightmare. You know, when you ever went against it, you're like, I'm just gonna quit this game. This game sucks. I mean, it was like an insta. I'm gonna hate this game. Just gonna run stretch the whole time, and they really did. All right, next up, left guard will end up being this Bo Jackson for another. This is Madden 18. Bo Jackson out of position because he was a left guard. He basically had every single position on the game, but his left guard allowed you to go with a toss. And what you do with his 94 speed is he get out there, because tight slots toss was like a big part of the meta, if not the number 1 formation in the meta in 18. You run toss, he'd be able to get out there very fast and lay a block. And that's all you really needed to seal the edge, get around it. It's a common theme between 20 and 18, the edges don't get sealed very well. So hopefully they can fix that for 21 and actually make edge defenders do the job. So he would seal the edge. He would get in, like, obviously tight end or whatever on that side would seal the edge too, but he'd get out there, add another lead blocker out there at that speed at left guard. So he's my number 1 left guard there for most powerful position. Kevin Wyatt at center. He's this year's Kevin Wyatt, and the only reason I put him there is because there really isn't any other centers. You can go back, look through, you know, the Websters of all the other high-end Ultimate Legend centers. Whatever, right? Whatever. They're just accumulation of stats. But he can get abilities that allow you to basically see blitzes on 3rd and 4th down. These are abilities we have had all year that a lot of cards can get, but he can get 3 of them. Identifier, you can have that on him instead of your quarterback if you need it. Otherwise, you can do pass block elite, which some people think helps your entire offensive line pass blocking. But it is what it is on Kevin Wyatt. There's just really no glitchy choices, but he's got nice abilities if you end up activating him, but they're not like super crazy. Christian Okoye, I'll show his stats off, but basically the same reason. Madden 18 out of position. Christian Okoye could get out to the edge on tosses, slower than Bo, but you can just run them both and get around the edge. 91 run block, 92 impact block to lead on those outside runs for Okoye. And obviously, if your scheme is different, obviously we have different players, but The last one, this right tackle here, is an 82 overall Jason Peters card. So let me show it to you on Mudhead. Basically, the reason he's here is you're like, oh, why are you doing such a low overall? It's because when you have an 82 overall that has these stats, that's amazing. Obviously, his pass block's low. Pass block strength, pass block finesse are high. But like 3,000 coins for stats these good. These like cards right now in Madden are just reaching these. And this is an 82. So amazing budget card. Glitchy left tackle technically. Him and Tyron Smith had similar glitchy. But I just threw him at right tackle. They basically left tackle too. But basically, that's what I want to go through. The glitchiest offense of all time. My number one MUT offense. If you're using all these cards at their peak when they came out, they were just overpowered as hell and could do absolutely glitched out bullshit things. And that's it. The greatest MUT team of all time staring you in the face. What do you guys think? What would you guys change? Who was more powerful than the cards I put out there? Let me know. Thanks for watching. We'll have the defense up soon. Call to action. I'll see you tomorrow.